Welcome back, Panther fans. My name is David Brown. I'm here with Ryan Graham,
Hey, y'all.
Tim Thurber,
Hello.
and this is State of Atlanta. I don't know if you can hear mine or not.
No, we can hear you. It's a little echoey.
Oh, man. So that's the first beer of the day. It's the first beer of the day.
How's that taste after
A little bit of a little food poisoning debacle over the evening has not finished itself off yet. So we'll see how much that I get down tonight. But I got a couple more in case I can power through this.
I see. Since last week, you've won a couple of awards.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, not since last time. I moved. It was not very comfortable sitting on that couch. So I moved to a table behind me. This stuff was always behind me. You just
Well,
couldn't see it.
congratulations on your championships.
That's my barbecue stuff. So yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, then really congratulations, except for the fact that I think that you've never made barbecue for me. And, for that, screw you.
Have you ever made barbecue for a tailgate? I don't think you have you?
No, because I'm such a little alky. All I want to do is get down there and drink and not worry about, preparing any food or anything. So
But you prepare it all night and then just bring it and it's ready.
Well, we rarely ever had night games, and so it's kind of hard to do a big smoke and everything when you're going to be, going into the stadium at noon.
Yeah, you ought to let them. I know that you've talked to athletics before, and they're I think they're okay with it, right? You've said bringing a smoker down the night before.
Yeah, we've talked about it. It's but then I got to clear that with the wife and the kids, and that doesn't really work too well. So it'll happen eventually. We'll do some barbecue out there. So maybe I can make it.
They got to take one for the team.
Yeah, not their team, unfortunately.
Can we just lock you inside the gates with the smoker?
I'm down with that. Anyhow, I'm not going to be that chipper tonight, unfortunately. So you guys have to carry this a little bit better than you are so far.
What?
So it looks like,
come on, man! I gave you crap for your awards. I gave you crap for not bringing us barbecue. What else do I need to give you crap for?
I don't know. I'm sure you'll think of it though.
Doing the laundry, man. Why don't you do the laundry? I see laundry baskets everywhere.
Oh boy, I wasn't gonna go there.
My mother-in-law won't let me do laundry. She only does laundry herself. So if I stay in her house, I have to stay in her rules. So yeah.
Oh God, what a terrible life.
It is pretty bad. Not as bad as having no AC in this room. This is pretty rough right now.
Yeah.
What's the temps up there like?
It's like it was raining all day today, and now it's it was in the 80s earlier, so it's a hot and humid. It feels like being in Georgia right now.
Yeah, I mean, it was lower 90s earlier, so about the same probably. Nice and humid, and it's pouring down rain, or it was 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, we had the rain pretty much all last night and into this afternoon. So anyhow, did you guys see that Charlie Cobb's sticking around here?
Who is?
Charlie Cobb. He's the athletic director of Georgia State.
That guy?
Is that like an important job? Is that what's he do?
My God, Ryan, come on, seriously, give me something better than this.
I thought that was news last week too, was it not? Did we not go over this last week? I don't even know.
It came out on Thursday last week, didn't it?
It all blurs together for me, I guess so. Here my feedback on it is I thought it was kind of weird. Seeing as Mark Becker is on his way out, generally speaking, I think you would let the next guy up pick stuff like that. Let him get his own athletics director and decide contracts and stuff like that when it runs so close.
I think they had to because his contract was going to run out before Becker was leaving.
Oh, that might be true.
His contract was set to end in August, which means if the new president taking office July 1st, probably not the first thing they want to do when they come into office. That being said, this deal was done in April. April 1st is the day that Cobb signed this whole thing. But it doesn't really matter when it was signed if you had such a short little time frame for the next president to make a decision. So
there might be an April Fool's clause up in there. Huh?
And for all I know, they actually did. They maybe they know who they were going to pick, and they sort of ran it by him.
Possibly so. I mean, Ben talked a little bit about it last week, but it doesn't sound like, if there's a decision been made, we haven't heard about it whatsoever at all. They were still interviewing candidates. I don't know. But
yeah, I'm kind of cynical about all that kind of stuff. I feel like they generally know who they want well beforehand, and it's like all but decided who it is unless something crazy happens.
Yeah, and it's not like something just kind of scandal broke out or something happened to Becker. We've known about this for a year now, so I'm not too right. Yeah, that was a big question, I guess, on the message boards and the internet, was why was Becker making this decision when he's going to be leaving? And I think that it was his job to make the decision. You don't want to have an athletic director that, we can talk about whether or not you think Cobb was doing a good job or not, but you don't want to have it going to that last minute type thing, going up to the point where he could just walk out to a new job without any kind of concerns or worries. I got no problem with that.
No, me neither. I didn't realize that window was so small.
Yeah,
I mean, you would give him a contract update if you were the outgoing president, right?
I don't know what the relationship
is. What's he done
like.
That you wouldn't give him one, right? I mean,
well, okay, yeah, that's exactly the kind of questions I had. Like, what has been his accomplishments and anything that he's, not handled well? The accomplishments, obviously, I think we can say that, the renovation of Turner Field into Georgia State Stadium and now Center Park is great. I know he walked into that already being in progress, but I mean, he had to do all the heavy lifting with all the manual labor of getting that thing up to par, and then getting the naming rights dealt with, which I don't know if how much that was Charlie Cobb or athletics and how much of that was like the foundation that handles those kind of things. But I have to imagine the conversation started in athletics and got finished off somewhere else. So
didn't we have students or student athletes like cleaning seats or installing some part of the seat or numbers or something? I remember, David, you did it too.
You had me out there. Yeah, there was kind of an open invite. And I shouldn't say open invite because it was a direct invite. They invited some like PAC board members and some athletes and other people. I say athletes. I don't know if they invited athletes or not because they may not be able to do that. And if they did, I don't want to get in trouble for saying that because I don't know. But maybe some students or something, because they have a lot of the students that do like the calls and stuff like that. But yeah, they had some people out there just helping out with things. It's a big place. There was a lot to get done. The old Sweetwater little island out there in the middle of the plaza area where the beer sales were for Braves games, and I don't even know if we're using it right now. I got to paint that blue, so if the paint job looks crappy, it's because I'm not good at painting.
We should be using it for beer if we're not. Man, I remember that place for Braves games way back.
So is that a problem? Do you think it was a bad thing to kind of get that free labor out there?
No, I think it was a good thing.
No, that's fine. What's the problem? Did you not like it? Did you not agree, even though you went and did it?
No, there's some people that were complaining about it. When I got the opportunity to do it, I jumped on it. I'm like, yeah, this is cool. I get to do something, be part of this new facility we've got. So I thought it was great.
And it was a sneak peek for everybody to see kind of like what work had been done and all that. I remember when that happened, people were like excited to be able to go in there and see it before everybody else.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I did a lot of stuff in what they still call it the State House Grill now. I got to do a lot of painting in there and to see what everything and just seeing what it looked like. That was cool. It was fun. I don't know why would people complain, but it's the internet, so people like to complain.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. No biggie.
Right.
Yeah, and Cobb was also responsible for hiring Coach Elliott, right?
Yeah, and I would say that's a win, and so would whatever that website we reviewed a week or two ago would say. Yep. Right? It was it's a B hire.
That's turned out pretty well for us. Yeah.
Yeah, the only notable thing that you could say that was negative during his tenure so far has been the handling of Coach Hunter's, exit of the university. And, there's been a lot of talk back and forth, and at least from everything I've heard, could it have been handled better? Yes, on both sides. It was not a one-sided thing. So
it sounds to me like it was not very poorly handled on the Georgia State side, and that it was more poorly handled on the other side.
I think there could have been some sprinkles poured on top of it from
from
Cobb's side to kind of the subtle things a little bit. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Here's Susan, one of our Patreon members. I don't like that he sort of refers to as old school as we. Yeah, Susan, I don't disagree with you on that one, obviously. And actually, when we first did the spring tour events, he actually called us Georgia Southern, talking about the university that employed him. And so I think that may have been the first one or something. But that one...
That's a viable sense right there. I don't know.
Yeah. So, I don't disagree with there. Not going to fire...
Could you imagine if that happened down there and they call the school Georgia State?
They probably wouldn't know a difference. They're not very smart. They They probably don't know what school they're going to in the first place.
Good point.
So,
they probably wouldn't know anything down there. They just hear the word Georgia and they stop.
Yeah, exactly, because they're all wearing their UGA hats anyways. So, yeah, but I mean, really, the Hunter stuff's the only thing I could say that you could even pin negative on Cobb. There's plenty of other things as far as that have happened over there, and like Coach Frady's gone now. He hired Gene Hill, Ryan's biggest fanboy of the guy. Yeah, so I think it's right.
Yeah,
Coach Free Beer. I think it's good.
Lanier.
Lanier. I don't know if you can pin that one on Cobb. I've heard some rumbling. I've heard it wasn't that. I'm not sure how much I can repeat. I just don't think that it was his decision that got Lanier here. So,
it happened under his watch. He's either going to get credit or he's going to succeed or fail based on that hire, regardless if it was his choice or not. So
he can definitely take credit for it because there's no other reason anybody else would think that somebody else made a decision on it.
He will fail on it, so he better be able to take credit for it.
Did you guys take a look at? Oh, go ahead, Tim.
I was gonna say I know one thing, Dave, that you can pin on him that you hate.
What's that?
The Georgia State word mark.
Oh, word mark! Might shove that crap. I gotta imagine that's the marketing more so that. Yeah, there you go. I gotta assume that it's that the marketing is kind of forcing that kind of stuff. But yeah, come on, just give me something without the word mark, just the Panther head, and even when you do get it, it's not what you want. Okay, yeah.
All right, I like either or. I like just the Panther head. I like the word mark. I like the Panther head and word mark. It's all good.
Yeah, get in a new cast of characters to come in here, interview them. One question: which one looks better? And give them the Panther head with the word mark, or the word mark. And if they pick anything other than the Panther head, they don't pass a test. They're gone. They're out of here.
When you guys send those like tweets over from that like Boomer Sunbelt whatever, whatever, he sends those tweets over with just the logos. I can't tell you how happy I am to see the logos that have actual word marks in them, because there's a bunch of schools that I'm like, I don't even know what that is, and like, thank goodness it's a word mark. Otherwise I'd just be lost.
And that is the reason why they do it, is they want to associate the Panther head with the word mark. And that's great. I understand that. That makes sense. But we need to have something without the word mark with the Panther, like the helmets. Helmets, I think they now are doing the Panther head for the most part. We still have that stupid thing with the number on it, whatever. But they were still putting the word mark with the Panther head on everything. Like some places it does not have to be there. When it's especially like little thumbnail type thing, small little images where you can't even tell that it's a Panther head or what the words say on there. Give me just the Panther head, something that shows up. You know when to use it and when not to use it. So.
I think we should bring the cursive Panthers back.
No.
For the baseball team, I don't disagree with you. I think it's great for the baseball team.
It is a good baseball logo.
Perfect for the baseball team.
I think it's perfect, especially with moving into Turner Field. I'm not that the baseball plays there, but it has that same kind of Braves kind of look to it, that little script to it. I like it a lot. I think it's great. I don't want to see it in football ever again. I don't even want to throw back with that. I mean, you disagree? You want to see that on our helmets again?
No, I mean, I was trolling you guys.
Yeah.
I said the only place you should see the Panther script outside of the baseball uniforms would be at the top of the scoreboard where it used to say Braves in script. That's it.
You mean at the new Hank Aaron Stadium for baseball? But
no, you can do it there too. I'll say in the Center Park Stadium. Just throw back.
I see what you're saying, and I'm gonna go ahead and disagree with you on it. No. That should not be associated to football. If somebody wants to wear that shirt, like a fan wants to wear that shirt in there, that's fine. People can wear baseball shirts in the football games. Happens all the time. It's all kinds of Falcons fans at Braves game last weekend. So
I'm sure.
What?
Yeah, they're stupid. Did you guys pay attention to what the contract was for? Sorry, Tim. Did you pay attention to what the contract deals were for Cobb? Because I know that Ryan didn't pay attention whatsoever. He's waiting for us to tell him.
I mean, only slightly.
Yeah. I thought it was funny. I find things funny that are totally insignificant, but his salary was $350,000 and it goes bumped up to $399,263.
Can't get 400.
No, 400,000. We can't allow that.
It sounds like a percentage increase.
A percentage increase, but just round it up.
Yeah,
it's stupid. It's weird.
Around $399, $250, or I don't know. Just give him $399, $3. Who cares?
I bet Elliot doesn't care.
No, or
he's
Cobb,
like, whatever, I make enough.
I'm sure Elliot doesn't care whatsoever at all what his boss makes either.
Well,
no,
he might care that Elliot that Cobb stuck around, but I bet Cobb doesn't care if it's rounded up to another, couple $100.
When making $400,000, I know that $700 doesn't make that big of a difference. It's just weird to me. Stuff like that is weird, and whatever. Is this his first extension, or did he get extended before?
I feel like this is his first, right?
David, you have very high expectations for us.
Let's make this up. It's his very first contract extension at Florida
I don't
State.
think it is.
Maybe it's the second. It's been here a while, right? I mean,
yeah. Well, hey, we got here
like
last year. He got here the last year of Miles, and he's already extended Coach Elliott's. Anyhow, Ryan's looking it up. He's getting a bonus for Sunbelt championships for football, men's basketball, women's basketball, up from $2,500 to $10,000 if they win. I'm like, that's a good upgrade right there. I mean, 4 times the amount, and you guarantee that basketball is going to happen soon. Football could be as early as this year. That's great.
Can we just have baseball in there? I don't know.
No, I think baseball should be in there. I feel like it's weird that they limit it to those 3 sports. I feel like really what they wanted to say was football and men's basketball, but then they're like, well, we can't do just 2 men's sports. We got to throw women's sport in there, so let's do women's basketball. Because honestly, they could have put in beach volleyball or something like that, and, or women's soccer or whatever, and have to pay him out here pretty soon. So I don't know. Anyhow,
money.
One thing that is kind of cool about it is the buyout, should he want to go somewhere else, because we know he wants to go somewhere else, has been bumped up double if he leaves if he leaves by August of 2022, it's $1 million that he or whoever hires him will owe back to the university. So I think that's good, and it goes down from there over the next 3 years. But I think it's good to solidify that he'll likely be here for at least the next 1 to 2 years.
Unless someone really wants him as a athletic director.
But they'll only really want him if we're like ultra successful.
Right.
I feel like someone if somebody really wanted him, he'd be gone by now.
They would just buy him out. Just buy out his buyout and be like, whatever.
Extra $1 million. There you go.
Yeah.
One thing I want to take issue with is he gets paid $2,000 for like social memberships or whatever, and I have not seen him join our Patreon whatsoever at all. Come on, man, you get $2,000 for this crap. $3 a month. Come on, dude. Come on.
Give him a 10-year. Give him a 10-year deal, man.
Yeah, they won't.
Nice way to sneak that little advert in there, David.
Yeah.
That was good. That was good.
I'm good like that.
I was going to say, where could he possibly sign up for a Patreon? What would he have to type into his browser?
stateofatlanta.com or patreon.com/stateofatlanta. I don't even know what I'm talking about. But also extension is going to be our free ship code this week for our merchandise on our site, merch.stateofatlanta.com. So got that going on as well. Anything else you want to talk about Cobb?
I don't know if you had on your agenda to talk about Ford Williams, but in athletic department news, he got promoted at UGA. He's like their top gift. I don't know, what is he, director of special gifts or something? I don't know. I forget what it was, but
top fundraising. But yeah, it's great to answer a question. Do you want to talk about Cobb and bring up UGA?
I felt like it was related because athletic department, and then Ford Williams, he cut his teeth here at Georgia State, and so seeing somebody that grew up here basically and is doing so well at Georgia, it's to me it'd be like seeing Nick Arbuckle doing well at another school. It would be worthy of news, and crossing my fingers that they bring that success back to us.
Yeah, no, I did have it to talk about later on about but that's fine, about Ford Williams. And it's interesting to note because, he came here from UNC, was a grad student, got master's in sports management, went on to Clemson and then to UGA, now promoted by UGA. I mean, this is the kind of guy we want to come back and be with our program in the future. And he's cutting his teeth the exact right way. I'm just curious if he got too big too fast, and now, there's not really a chance for him to come back until much later down the road as a Twilight type thing or something.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that's a path to athletic director.
Weren't a lot of people talking about him? They when Cheryl was out of here, they're talking about Ford Williams, or was that too early for him to be talked about? Because
it might have been a little too early.
Yeah, I remember there being somebody that had been here before that others had been talking about. But maybe he is somebody that comes down here. I mean, he's raising all this money. I think he was part of the team that was responsible for raising the indoor practice facility for UGA. Yes, please.
A bunch of different projects, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like the head of top fundraising or whatever it's called, top accounts or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So
he's the top dog of fundraising.
He goes for them big donors.
Pretty much. And it's got to be. I mean, it's got to be way easier to do that for a school in the SEC, one like Georgia that's competing for national championships every single year. But you got to feel like it translates into the smaller programs as well. And if he could do it there, he has those relationships to do it elsewhere as well, like at the Georgia State level.
I thought he was pretty good. He's pretty scrappy, always trying to, drum up support, drum up dollars. I mean, he got a couple $100 out of me.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Look at you go.
I think he got like $500 out of me in the mid-year. He offered me a polo. I said, I want it. $500 later, done.
They sell polos for a lot less.
Yeah, they didn't sell those before. The specific one.
It was a special polo.
It was.
Listen to this, Charlie. If you put out a polo for Tim, he'll give you $500. I think there's a lot of opportunities to do things, and we don't see, at least from our side, it doesn't. In my opinion, it seems like we don't see a lot of action going in that direction. Granted, we got the Center Park thing, the Petite thing that went south, and other stuff, but I mean, there's got to be stuff going on because our numbers aren't purely coming from the nickel and dime pack entries. So
yeah, I would say one of the things that we probably need to improve, but it's probably pretty tough. And I think maybe some of the winning is going to drive is donations, right? Like I think we're not as good as other SBC schools at driving donation dollars, but you got to think a lot of it too. Rests with our performance on the field. Not winning, fans erode over time. You still have those core fans like ourselves that donate, and others that fund a lot of the program, but you're not going to get a lot of those dollars hanging around until the teams start performing better. So
what about basketball then? Can we get more money for basketball?
Oof.
I mean, we have a convocation center coming, but that wasn't from donor dollars. That came from the foundation or from university dollars, whatever it is.
Well, your prospect pool starts drying up when they only let 20 people or so into every game.
What are you talking about?
Like last year it was like seriously reduced capacity.
Yeah, everybody had that exact same problem, and
I know.
It was more than.
It doesn't matter if everybody had it; it's still a problem.
And it was more than 20 people coming in last year.
Yeah, okay, 25.
I was about to say you wouldn't know, you didn't come, but you did actually come.
33 people.
See, Tim's got my back.
Man, you were some negative Nancy's tonight, guys.
Tim knows what I'm talking about. It wasn't our fault. It was COVID.
Yeah, it was COVID. Well, you just said it didn't matter if it was COVID. Oh, man. Yeah.
Cool, man. What's up? What's next?
Not a lot left, really. They
David, are you feeling okay?
No, I'm not. I have food poisoning. Give me a break. They sent out single game ticket announcement. You can buy single game tickets for this season. I'm talking about. But Tim, you noticed it. There's a seating chart change going on.
Yeah, so there's a seating chart change this year, which I think is a positive thing overall. I mean, I hope the university markets it to the students to say, hey, we're giving you premium seats, but instead of the away seats being on the east stands, it's going to be students.
Right. So the students get the band moves back to where they were prior to COVID, and the student section has been kind of expanded to be from that band side, sweeping over to those new seats that were built in the old right field stuff. Which, I agree. Do you know if students get like reserved seating, or is it just this is the student section? Get your free ticket. Come sit down wherever you want to in these areas.
I think they swipe their cards, so they must not have assigned seats.
And that's probably pretty good because I can't imagine a lot of these kids want to sit these early games in the baking heat of like a 3:00 game or something.
Yeah.
Or a noon game for that Army game to start us off.
Even if they're assigned, it's not like they're stopping people. I you remember like when it would rain, everyone would move under the awnings pretty much.
Right.
And nobody was saying a word. So.
Right. And then I feel like before letting the opposing team kind of congregate over that area just did nothing but kind of, encourage their own team and make it look bad on TV since that's the angle that the camera comes down at.
That's true.
Do you think they're going to keep those seats restricted and say students only? Or you think they're going to allow opposing teams' fans to get in there when it's empty at times?
To Ryan's point, at this point, they pretty much let people go wherever they want to go since so much of the area is general seating. I would like to hope so, but I just don't know if we're going to pay for the manpower to really block off that area and keep people from walking in if they're, yeah. I mean, it's hard enough time if someone sat in your reserved seat before, I mean, it didn't happen all the time, but there was nobody really around to like say, hey, kick these out unless you went looking for somebody. So I don't know. It's not that big, again, it's not that big a deal. They're talking about having sellouts this season though. So they're expecting there to be a fuller house than before. I mean, Army is one of the games where they're expecting a sellout for it. So,
all rad.
Yeah. So the interesting thing I found is like, obviously before the entire East Stand was the away team, right? And then this year, just section 100 and 101.
Two little slices.
A shit ton of seats in 100 and 101 versus a whole sideline.
Yeah, you can cram a lot of people into those as long as they sit like butt to butt and just call it a day. It's fine.
I mean, and there's still going to be a lot of general purpose seating that people can buy season tickets or single game tickets for, and there's not, and those little, I think there's a purple section on the seating chart.
Yeah,
that I assume that's the allotment that we're giving to the opposing school to get their fans and students in there. But anybody, since all the Southern fans actually live in Atlanta, they can easily buy a single game ticket here. Now they don't play here this year, but all other fan bases.
Yeah, I get why they're doing it. I mean, I like it. I think, it's an opportunity for the university and athletics to market to the students and say, hey, we're giving you premium seats. We've got to do it. Like, if this is just going to be a seating chart and they just hope students magically show up, probably not going to work. Yeah. But I think we can market this really well.
I like it. I think this is the way the seating chart probably should have been from the very beginning. I think I'm excited about it. I think it looks good. I still have my seats in my section that I can look down under an awning. Staying shady and nice next to the beer. So
I really did like the band where they were over the pandemic year. Nestled over there on the opposite side. I feel like the sound quality was a lot better, and I guess the way they spread out might have actually helped some of that too. I'm like, if we're not going to fill up that stadium, I actually think they should just do that a lot.
Yeah, I like that as well. I even put that down as a note that I really did enjoy because we talked about that every game we went to, how much better it sounded and everything. But those seats they built up in that section for them were built for them, so they have room for their instruments and everything, not just existing seating. So you got to use that space. You got to use it.
Build out the other side for them. I don't know what to tell you, man.
We talked about sides playing towards each other.
All of a sudden we went from we can't fundraise enough to spend more money on something that we already have that works.
Well, so just pause the convocation center because football is more important. And
absolutely.
And do what needs to be done with the football stadium.
One thing I don't understand about the football stadium seating, and I don't know if this is some remnants of COVID or whatever, but when they first were building the stadium, they're talking about that loge seating in those rounded areas and all four corners, and those four areas are no seating this year, and they haven't been seating them at all. They were closed down from the COVID year, and I want to say they were even closed down before that. So why do we have that? One, two, why is it just cement and not painted blue or something, or with ads? And three, if there's no ads, why is it not a State of Atlanta ad? Why haven't they reached out to me to get that put up there?
Are you going to pay for it?
I mean, well, I'll pay what it costs to paint it. I can go in there and do it myself.
I don't know.
You have experience painting the stadium.
I have experience painting there.
Here's my resume painted with you guys.
Here's the resume. Look over there, and that too.
It's just some aesthetics and continuity, connecting all the stands around mostly. I don't know.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody who I don't know if they've ever sold tickets to it. I think anytime I've ever seen anybody there, it's just been like people who wandered over and started watching from there. And we talked about like how it might be cool to buy tickets there, but they don't even sell them.
Yeah, when it first announced, I thought it would be a kind of a cool area to be in, but not only do they not sell them, I think they actively keep people out of there. I mean, yes, people have gone in there, but I've seen them ask people to leave before. So
that's kind of weird.
They should turn them into bars. There's my idea.
Well, I'm on board for that.
Permanent bars, man.
Oh yeah.
No, they just need to have a bunch of food trucks and cocktail trucks in that back area behind the student section, or the new student section. But then again, that doesn't make any sense because most students can't drink legally. So scratch that idea. Food trucks there should be there though. They should have food trucks there the entire time.
Yeah,
better than
the trucks.
And then they just have a lot more booze options for me with no lines in my area.
That would look really weird on TV, though. To your point earlier, like every time they cut over to that stadium, that side, it's just like food trucks lining the top. Be like, it's Atlanta. What do you want?
I don't think the cameras even cut that far up, do they?
I don't know. I don't ever watch it. I don't ever watch them on TV.
I feel like you can see them when you're watching on TV. They always cut to like the upper level, like the upper deck camera at times. You can see it back there.
Once again, Ryan has to go with the giggles at upper decking.
Anyway,
400 level camera. Sorry, Ryan.
Yeah. The new seating chart looks pretty cool. We'll see how it works out. I'm also looking forward to it. The only thing I had left, I think, was Tim Houston over was it Sport Gambling Podcast was kind of giving their picks on Ryan. You sent that over.
Oh yeah,
they're giving their picks on the over unders for the Sun Belt Conference. Yeah. So what do you want to say about it?
Well, I didn't want to say anything, but what I posted was I guess Vegas has us at 5.5 wins, and they had a lot of really good things to say, specifically about Quad, and had us with the over. But they also said, got a hell of a schedule ahead of us, and they I think they threw out 4 or 5 games that they just said those are automatic losses, so they basically have to win every other one.
They guaranteed losses at UNC, North Carolina, Lafayette, and Coastal, and I think that's bold and ambitious. I think that we all know what this team is capable of doing, and there's no reason why we didn't beat Lafayette last year.
Correct.
There's no reason why we should look like we did against Coastal last year either. So neither of those 2 games are gimmies. I know we're supposed to say UNC and Auburn are gimmies, but this team, you have no idea what's going to happen. I'm not saying we're going 3-1 out of that schedule, but I'm definitely saying we're not going 0-4.
Well, I will say the only other team I looked at, and it was because they were at the top of the article, and I read it before I realized I only cared about us, was Coastal. And I think Vegas had them at 10 wins, and this article was giving them the over on that as well. So I think they're really high. They're just really high on Coastal.
Everyone's really high on Coastal, and I think they're being.
I'll take the under on 10 wins.
I'll take the under as well. I think that everyone. I mean, how many people even knew that Coastal Carolina was an FBS program before the season started? Right. So, they're just riding high on what this team was last year. And sure, they brought back a great quarterback, and the coach didn't leave. You would imagine they're going to win. But this is like we talk about all the time. There's the targets on their back this season. Everyone's been gaming for them from game one. And I don't even know what their schedule looks like to start the season, but I wouldn't be surprised if they get one of their first loss out of the first 4 weeks of the season.
Yeah. And the other thing I talked about with us, though, is how we brought back basically everybody on our team, like top 10 in the nation for people who came back to the team. So
one thing I thought was interesting is they had a video clip of Quad's highlights from this past season. Yeah. And I went to go look and see, was that something that Georgia State put together, or was that a highlight video somebody else put together? It was on Quad's own personal YouTube page.
Oh,
wow!
It was, he posted out there himself. So, I don't know if that means that he's trying to, pimp himself out to somebody else, but he's probably just proud of his accomplishments.
He's just brave, man.
Yeah. It's pretty good too. I didn't realize that he did step up his game at the end of the season, because they said he had over 300 yards per game and a bunch of touchdowns and stuff. So, pretty good.
Oh, he definitely came alive at the end of the season when things started, all gelling with him. So I like. Well, first of all, what I wanted to say was I don't take anybody seriously that uses the word Hotlanta, but he picked us with the over, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that.
Yeah.
One thing I thought was interesting is Monroe. They're a one and a half game over under, and he went the under on that.
Ouch! That's hurtful, man.
Yeah, that's pretty good. This guy knows what he's talking about.
There wasn't really any other.
Did he write anything about it?
Yeah, he wrote about Terry Bowden coming down there and everything, but he talks about like he doesn't even think they can beat their FCS opponent they have this season, which I can't give a team crap about that with our history.
Yeah, for sure. What's the FCS team? Do you know? Did you look? No.
I mean, I read it, but I don't remember what it is now.
Is it the FCS Southeast Dragons?
Are you going for your NCAA?
That was yeah, that was the NCAA one.
Yeah. Let me see if anything else of note. Oh, Appy State with a 9. He gives them the under.
That's probably fair too. Yeah, all right.
I think they are on the under. Yeah. I feel like trash friends from the South only had 4.5. That must chap their ass.
Yeah, he has them on the over. If with 4.5, if he would have given them the under, I would have really liked this guy a lot. But no.
With the 4.5, I probably give them the over too. Honestly, as much as I'd hate to see it, but people are down on them. I mean, they're going to come out if they end up having a good season. It's going to surprise a lot of folks.
Yes, they're not in a good spot right now.
I'm going to make the prediction right now on this podcast. Our friends at ULM take the over.
1.5. Ballsy.
They're going to win more than that. Woo!
They're winning 2 or more games. Way to go. Way to go.
At least.
I can't believe the confidence, Tim.
Man, it's going to be bad.
So you heard it here first. ULM, 2 or more.
1.5 under. It's like, what?
I mean, if I was actually putting money on it, I would bet against them. I would take the over, but it's fun to say under.
I feel bad for him, man.
It's just like that lack of respect. That complete lack of respect. It's like, no, 1.5 wins. No, we're gonna go the under on that. Like, most teams accidentally win a game or two. They went 0-10 or 0-11. I don't know how many games they played last year, but they didn't win a single one of them. So you figure they gotta steal 1 or 2 away this year. But
yeah, the chances that they lost all of them last year was so low that, like, if you extend it a whole nother season, it's got to be even lower.
Didn't we not play them last year? We didn't have the Warhawks.
We didn't get our W.
We didn't get our W against them because I think the article. Because I think we talked about it last week. The article about Coach Collins going to Kentucky, they even referenced about not winning versus the Warhawks for some reason. I don't remember why. It was on there. So I think that's all I got.
I don't think it was official last week, but it's official now.
Yeah, it's officially moved on to Kentucky. Talked about the resources they have and how more creative he can get about recruiting and stuff. So,
yep.
Yeah, good for him. Good for him. That's all I got for this week, guys.
All right. No, I'm good.
Wrap it up.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. We're gonna head on over to last call where I'll try to finish both this Diet Coke and this beer that I've been nursing the entire episode, and talk about a little bit more. Maybe give Ryan some pointers on how to be better at this whole thing and whatever. The last call is available on our Patreon page for free, patreon.com/JetOfAtlanta. If you join our Patreon for $3 a month, you get early access to that and added to our group chat, discount star merch, and that stuff. So find us over there, patreon.com/JetOfAtlanta. That's where we're going now. Talk to all you guys later. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Peace.